Now, I can't pretend I know a lot about Ekitike, no more than a lot of other Liverpool fans or YouTubers pretending to know a lot. They don't. They're on YouTube like myself and they're looking at the clips. They mind what to tell you. Nobody has time in their life to watch the French league, the German league, Frankfurt, and nobody has time to watch all these. Let's be realistic. They're going to YouTube and that's what they're basing their opinion. Welcome to the Cop Doc. This is the first video I'm doing on the football channel. I had made a couple of previous football videos that was on Docscast, but Docscast is just going to be strictly boxing now. I just realised I shouldn't be probably mixing up the two. So I will, this will be my first video. I'm driving, so it's a perfect opportunity. I can lob the phone there on the magnet and do a recording while I'm driving. So the boxing channel is separate, and I'm enjoying doing that with Mick, and I hopefully get a couple more guests on here and there, and it's actually doing well. It will take off as long as I keep putting the content up. And I do love football. Jesus, like everyone I know, love football, and we talk about it all the time as well. When you're not a big drinker anymore, or you're not you need things in life to keep you going, to keep you interested. And thankfully I'm interested in a lot of stuff, because I'm not interested in drinking as much anymore. So things like this is just a substitute for me to do something. And I love football, obviously, and I'm watching that, and I'm looking forward to the Premier League starting again. Why not just do a content for the season on football, which will be mainly Liverpool post-match reactions. I do like a bet. I'm not saying everyone should have a bet, but I do like a bet, and I'll probably do something like give a prediction each weekend what I fancy. Like, I mean, what am I? But I'm lucky enough actually with a bet, to be fair. So this will be this video I'm doing actually now is my top 4 prediction, top 4 league, whatever way I think starters. This is my top 4 for the Premier League season. Now I'm going to name 2 teams who I don't think is going to make the top 4, because they're teams that should be in contention for top 4, but I just think that they're falling off so far behind, especially last season, that they're not going to close the gap, I think, this season. One is Spurs. Thomas Frank is coming in, who's a very good manager who I like and will be good for Spurs. Son is leaving, as far as I know. But even at that, I just think the gap is too far. And they could be thereabouts, but I just can't see them getting in the top 4 this season. I was delighted for Postecoglou actually last season that he won the Europa League, because he's a likeable fella. But he's gone now. Thomas Frank will do the job. He'll do a good job, and he will steady the ship as far as league form. But I think it won't be enough to get top 4. So that's that. Next one is Manchester United, who's obviously a massive club. And I have friends who are Man United fans, and some of them will agree with me anyways, that I don't think they're going to get top 4. They've just fallen so far behind in the last 3-4 seasons, even more so than it's hard to believe. I never rated Ten Hag as a manager. He chipped in with a trophy or two, and Man United, in fairness to them, do chip in with trophies, even when they're not going well, which is a good sign. But I thought Ten Hag was, even though again he won a trophy, I thought he was a brutal manager. I thought his communication, even in interviews, I was thinking, how would he even get the players to make them believe? He doesn't seem like a motivator or anything like that. Not that you need a motivator, but because some managers don't have that, but they're good in other areas. But Ten Hag, I felt he went down more when he had him. He dropped a little bit more. Ruben Amorim, he will do things. I think he will steady the ship for them as well. I think he will get their league position much better. He hasn't had a choice last season. I think that was the players he was left with. I don't think he did anything in January. And of course, he took over around 7 or 8 games or 10 games, I'm not sure what, into the new season when Ten Hag was sacked or left, I don't know which it was. But he will really have his stamp on it this season. He's had more time. After having a pre-season, you might start to see how Man United is playing now. So I think he will do well for United, given the time, if he gets the time. But I think it's too short of time for him to get into that top 4. I could be wrong, but I just can't see it. You brought in Kuna, a good player from Wolves. You brought in Wembo from Brentford. I like him too. I think he's a danger man. You know, there are players that'll make your team better. I think you've too many bad players, lads. I think you've too many bad players. It's like professional footballers, but they're not good enough for United. And I can see a couple of players there that stay years and are doing nothing for Man United at all, only taking money from the club and wearing them down. Rashford has gone out and loaned to Barcelona, which I think is a blessing. Get rid of him. He went to Villa, he was happy to go to Villa. Now Villa's not good enough for him, wants to go to Barcelona. He's just a fella that does mine out in. And I'm not a Man United fan, but I presume if you're a Man United fan, I know a lot of you are tired of him too. So you will definitely need a few more players, but it's just too short a time, as I said, to get top 4. So I don't think you're getting top 4 this season. 4th place this season is going to be a surprising one. I think they have had a great chance to win leagues in the last few seasons. And when you have a very good squad, which they had, and they were a very good team, you have to really strike when that opportunity arises, because I don't think you stay consistent or you stay hot like over a longer period of time. Now, some teams have, but Arsenal haven't won a league, so I think it's Arsenal. I think because they finished second 3 seasons in a row, been very good. But just haven't got over the line. And it's very hard, I think, if you give it your all. And Arsenal have, I think one season in particular, you know, they had a great chance of winning it. Like, you know, they were behind last season with Liverpool, and they just never got there close enough to Liverpool. Maybe they did it once or twice during the season, I can't remember. But the season before that, or maybe the first year, I think it was the season before that, they had a great opportunity to win the league. They were ahead. And you have to really make it count. Liverpool, when they went for the quadruple, and they had the season after that, they were just 2 games away from winning the quadruple. And it took everything out of them. They weren't really good that following season. Now, I just feel Arsenal have given it their all for the last 3 seasons. They haven't won a trophy in years. I don't know when Arteta is going to come under pressure. Maybe the end of this season, because, you know, you need to win a trophy. I know he won the first season. He came in and he won an FA Cup. That was your man's team, Emery's team. And I don't know how far into the FA Cup he was, but he won it, fair. In his first season, he won it. But I say it's Emery's squad. He's put a lot of money into this squad, Arteta, and this will have to be the final season for him if he doesn't win a trophy. I don't think they're going to be in the top. Sorry, they will be the top 4. I think in the Premier League they'll get 4th. I think they'll get 4th. I mean, they could challenge again. Who knows? But I honestly think that they had a great opportunity, and obviously now they're after signing Gyökeres, and he's like a striker, and Arsenal have needed a striker. It looks obvious to fill that gap. You know, they'll kick on, but you know, just because you've fixed one position doesn't mean that it's fixed everywhere. I just think somewhere else gets exposed during the season then. You know, and I think that could happen with Arsenal. They'll fill the gaps now that they feel that they should have, you know, made right. There's Zubimendi coming in as well. He's a good player. Well, you know, he's a defensive player, but he's a good midfielder. I just feel that they've done it. They've went there and they didn't get over the line. And I just feel that there'll be a drop-off for them. But they could go well in the Champions League. They could go well in the FA Cup. They could go well in the League Cup. I just have a feeling over the for the rest of the season, I think that the league season, that they're just going to drop off a little bit. They brought in your man from Chelsea. What's his name? Is it Madueke? Winger. I mean, they're going to be better going forward. I think they will be better going forward. And they've defensively been very good for the last few seasons. But as I said, that doesn't mean automatically, you know, doesn't mean straight away, oh, that's everything fixed. I just think that something else is going to become exposed for Arsenal. And I just just have a feeling that, yeah, to be top 4 and fourth place. So third this season, I think, will be Manchester City. Man City, obviously, last season they had a bad start to the season. I think that so far into the season with the bad campaign they had, they probably felt, look, the league is gone. Even though it was early enough in the season, they probably thought there'd no room for error, and it didn't feel like they could go on a run, no problem. Capable of it. But I just felt they coasted and got top 4. Did enough to get the Champions League. They've obviously been so brilliant for the last few seasons in the Premier League. They've won so many leagues. It's mainly them and Liverpool, but Liverpool chipped in with 2 leagues, but it's been mainly them the last 8 or 9 years. But we'll be interesting to see this season with them. Guardiola is a top class manager. De Bruyne is gone now, so who knows. Now, even though he didn't play much last season either, he's been injured, he was on the bench a lot, but he'd still be a big loss. That's what I'm saying about Man City. They've had a good team for so many years, but at some point that even their stalwarts, they get older, and of course there's change. It happened with Liverpool. I felt with Firmino, even though Mane wasn't much older when he left. And back to the Arsenal point, you have a period where you have a serious team, but it eventually fades. It's happened to all the great teams. Man City brought in Nori, Cherki. They definitely could go on and actually challenge for the league. Who knows with Guardiola, Man City. But I just feel it's a period for Man City now where it's time out almost. They will get top 4. I think they'll finish 3rd. Again, they could have a serious run in every other competition. But there's just something not as frightening about them as 3-4 seasons ago. They were unbelievable. Now, I know they won the league the season before last, but I think they were definitely a serious team. Just maybe a season or 2 before that, especially when they were going head to head with Liverpool. But I don't know. Just feel they're just going to drop a little bit, and yeah, they're my team. They're my 3rd team. So second place, I think, will be Chelsea. Chelsea won the World Club Championship. It's a pre-season tournament. As far as I'm concerned, you don't really know. Although they beat PSG in the final, bet them easy. You don't really know until they're in the season how well they are, how good they are. I think they've actually a good squad on paper, and it could be about time now that they're going to start to show how good they are. They brought in Pedro from Brighton, who I think is a super player. Anyone who was talking about last season, I think he's a player actually I wouldn't have minded in Liverpool. He's definitely going to score goals for them. They obviously have Palmer. They brought in Delap from Ipswich. He may be a backup player probably, but he'll get them goals in certain games. That's what you do. This is a good thing about having a big squad. And maybe it'll start to show as the season goes on that they're actually strong, because they have a big squad and they've spent a serious amount of money. And Chelsea have always been a team anyways, especially since we said the Mourinho era. They've always been a difficult team, They've always been thereabouts. Or sometimes if they look like they're on the slide, they might chip back in and get a trophy. Chelsea's a team that you could always, you'll always fear coming up against them. When you're playing them, it'll be a tough outfit. I think this could be the season that they could challenge for the league. So it's straightforward. I think Chelsea finished 2nd. That's my prediction for that. Now, first place, it's my team. And it's funny because I'm only doing this channel now for the new season, and if you didn't know, you would think this prick probably says every year Liverpool's going to win the league. I don't. I've always been confident with Klopp. I've always been confident. I love Klopp. Even though he didn't get to spending, he spent money, but he didn't spend the money to what other managers spent at the time. Done it cleverly, or the club done it clever. They let go players, to sign players. But Klopp was a serious manager. I was always confident with him. But this is the first season. Now, last season, let's be fair about, nobody expected to win the league last season, Liverpool. And they did. They signed nobody. They brought in Chiesa, who really didn't play at all. So, I mean, they practically won the league with the exact same team Klopp left the season before. And he got them in order, got them in place. He brought in Szoboszlai, McAllister the season before, so he got them in a good place. Slot done great things with this team. And they won the league last season. Now, I'm FSG's biggest critic because I felt that they were very shy spending money the last few seasons. And a couple of other Liverpool fans annoyed me because no matter what FSG said or done, they'd be just, oh, well, look, you're entitled, you're a Liverpool fan, you're entitled to your opinion. But some people are idiots the way they carry on, that no matter what Liverpool says or do, or if there's something, like, we're all fans, we don't agree with everything. There's some fans just agree with silly stuff all the time. I'm not saying what FSG was done was silly, that they didn't spend money, but it just felt they could have spent more, that's all. Now, it doesn't matter because now they've won me over because now they're spending, which is crazy because now they went crazy. You've never seen it. Never in the Premier League era have Liverpool ever spent the money the way Man City have done it, the way Chelsea have done it, Man United have done it. They've spent serious money. Arsenal have done it under Arteta. Now, Liverpool, the pressure might be on them as far as signings. They're spending big money, but I think the pressure is still off Arne Slot in a way. He's won his first league. He's out. He's that's off his back now. He can maybe. Now, of course, he's going to be the pressure. He still wants to win the league, but I just think there's not as much pressure. I personally believe, especially coming in last season after Klopp. But I am so confident this year. I've never been as confident in all my life of them winning the league. Simply because they won the league last year. They did fade off, I think, the last few games of the season. They did look tired. And that was a worrying sign. And of course, I was waiting to see whether they're buying anyone because, again, it would have loved me mental if they didn't. But they have. They went and bought Frimpong, Kirkes, Wirtz, and Ekitike. Now, I think Kirkes is the best left full in the Premier League. Robertson is slightly in the decline. Kirkes, I think, is unbelievable. Great signing. Frimpong, great signing. I wasn't too upset when Trent left, believe it or not. I wasn't too upset. I was more upset when Suarez left. I was gutted when he left. Torres, when he left, was gutted. I wasn't gutted when Trent left, I have to be honest about it. Didn't pass any heat. It didn't really, it is what it is. Frimpong is a very good replacement. And I think he's going to give us other things that maybe Trent didn't give us. So, no problems there. I'm happy with Frimpong. Wirtz, I think, is going to be the signing of the season. Signing of the season. I think Wirtz is class. I think he's going to be serious player. And obviously Ekitike. Now, I can't pretend I know a lot about Ekitike. No more than a lot of other Liverpool fans or YouTubers pretending to know a lot. They don't. They're on YouTube like myself and they're looking at the clips. They mind what to tell you. Nobody has time in their life to watch the French league, the German league, Frankfurt. And nobody has time to watch all these. Let's be realistic. They're going to YouTube and that's what they're basing their opinion. So I've done that. Yeah, I've done that. I went and looked at Ekitike. He looks like a nice player. He didn't blow me away. I think every player looks brilliant as well on YouTube, which we all know. I think they're probably thinking down the line, maybe they can do things with maybe Edwards and Hughes. They're seeing something that we don't see. So I mean, he could be a good signing. He could be a very good signing. And I'm not one for rumours because I hate gossip. But they're talking about Isak. I'm not even considering him. I'm considering him now without him. That I think we're definitely winning the league. I think we've got very strong. Maybe we could bring in a centre half. Obviously we're linked with the Palace player. They may do that, may not, I don't know. But I just feel that after winning the league last year, after strengthening, might bring in one or two more, who knows. I just think that I think they're very strong. We're going to be hard beaten this year. This is only my opinion, of course. Like yourself, everybody has their opinion. But I have a good inkling about this season. I actually do. I think Liverpool's going to win the league. I said to one of the lads the other day, they're going to hand it out to them at Christmas. But no, I'm only cotton there. I think they're very good. I think they're good enough to win the league. Yeah. So, yeah, that's it. League winners, Liverpool. That's my top four. And again, Don't think for 1 second I say this every year about Liverpool. I don't. I'm confident some seasons, but I'm never overconfident. And some seasons I'm sceptical. This season I'm very, very confident it's going to be Liverpool champions. Go back to this. I might only have 4 followers, but who knows? But you can go back and say it here at the end of the season if they win it or they don't win it. And comment. But yeah, that's my top 4 for the Premier League season. Oh, and quickly, yeah, I'm going to do this. I hope to put all the content out. I don't care if I have 2 followers. I don't care if I have 10 views. This is just a challenge for me, and I hope I stick to it. So I'm trying to test myself here. That I stick to put content out every week. It's like getting fit. It's like getting lean. I've been on so many diets, and I always say what I'm going to do, and it's a challenge for me. As I said to you, of course I'd like to have followers. Of course I'd like to have people talking on the page, because it's a bit of crack. I love interaction. But it's up to me to put the content out throughout the season. And I don't care if I don't have the followers, as I said. It's a challenge for me to say I wanted to do it for a whole season and I done it. And that's my challenge. So, yeah. So hopefully you'll get a few to tune in. If not, I'll talk to myself. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. And, yeah. Tune back in. Subscribe if you can. Comment if you can. And like. And sure, it's up to me after that to keep the content going. I hope at the time, I think I will. But yeah, get at it. Good luck.